What's going on, guys? Bengal again here, coming back at you with another video. Currently live on Twitch. I am streaming day 2 and 3 of the NFL Draft live on Twitch. The link to that is in the description, twitch.tv/Bengal. So we got a bunch of guys in the chat, and of course I've got a couple guys in the call with me as well. The first round has just come to an end moments ago, and now we're going to be doing a mock draft for the second round. I got the first 6 in a row correct, as we're going to fill in the blanks here, and you guys are going to help me if I forget who went where, but I think the draft started, and we won't have to make trades because this is just getting the players out of the way. So Sewell, Chase, I'm just going to fly through it then. Waddle, Jones, Slater, Surtain, Horn, Parsons, Darisaw, Phillips, Vera Tucker, Devontae Smith. Christian Barmore is still available. Kwity Paye went. Jamin Davis went. Alex Leatherwood went. Greg Newsome went. Tevin Jenkins, Azeez Ojulari, Elijah Moore still available. Zaven Collins, Najee Harris, Caleb Farley, Joe Tryon, Rashad Bateman, Travis Etienne, Eric Stokes, Jason Owe, Kadarius Toney. Who else got taken? Is it Peyton Turner and Greg Rousseau? And that's the first round. I know in not the right order, but that's okay.
It doesn't matter.
So now we have the second round, and the Jags are on the board to start. Now, to me, I think that this could be a fairly straightforward pick. The Jags really need safety help, and Trayvon Merrick is sitting on the board. They took running back and, of course, quarterback in round 1. I don't really think that Tevin Jenkins is in play because they're looking for more of a left tackle. I think Juwan Taylor's fine. Cam Robinson's there for another year. But you could look to go Sam Cosmi at this spot. So I'm probably, and even Christian Barmore would be a good option at that pick. I think if you're Jacksonville, though, we're going to go Trayvon Merrick. Top safety falls to the first pick in the second round. I think you probably look to take him there. You have another pick at 45 if you want to go tight end, or maybe the best edge guy that falls, or even if you want to add another receiver, although I'm not sure that they would. Jets at 34. Who'd they go with? They had 2 picks. They went Zach Wilson and Elijah Vera Tucker. The Jets are an interesting call because they could look to take Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah and just use him as their jack-of-all-trades type player. And, I mean, they could use him in any number of different ways. I still probably want to go edge here. We saw a couple edge guys go at the end of the first round, and Turner to the Saints, Rousseau to the Bills, and Jason Owe to the Ravens. Azeez Ojulari apparently has some knee issues. Appreciate the donation, by the way. Get to that after this mock. I don't know. I feel like in their system, I think Ronnie Perkins would be a really good pick for them here.
Could they go running back here?
Could they go running back? Well, you have Javonte Williams available at the top.
Yep.
I feel like Saleh is going to prioritize defense to start the second. He's a defensive-minded head coach, clearly after being the DC of the 49ers for, how long? Number of years there.
Right.
It's just too important to put pressure on the quarterback. I know they went out and they got Carl Lawson. You need more. I am going to go Ronnie Perkins there. I think he's a solid player. We're going to end up being wrong on all these anyway. Have put no thought into this other than just right now, of course. Falcons at 35. Well, the Falcons went Kyle Pitts at 4. Could be the best tackle available, Tevin Jenkins. They could go defense. Their defense is quite poor. I'm not sure that this is a good spot for Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Who's the best edge guy for them? I don't really love the options based on the defense that they run.
Ojulari, Basham.
Yeah, I don't love those for the Falcons at 35. We could go corner. Corner is a particularly weak position for them. Asante Samuel Jr. is kind of sticking out to me there.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do that.
I like that.
Let's do that. Dolphins at 36. Went Jalen Phillips in round 1 and Jalen Waddle in round 1. So what do we do here if we're Miami? Well, our defense is already pretty good. I'm not really sure they need to invest in a running back at this spot. They could. Javonte Williams is sticking out. But, Flores comes from that running back by committee system that we've seen so much with the Patriots.
Yep.
Defense is so important. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, I feel like, would be a really, really good pick for them.
What about...
Could go like center.
Yeah.
I kind of want to go defense.
Defense makes sense.
I like Jerome Baker. There's not really a ton at linebacker. They lost Kyle Van Noy by choice. But getting someone that can just play a hybrid linebacker safety role, I think is going to be super big. And even though I think the Eagles would love him at 37, I'm going Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah to the Dolphins at 36. Eagles at 37. And this is going to be completely wrong, but we'll see. Eagles went with Devontae Smith in round 1. Cornerback is still a super, super, super big need for them. So I think I would probably lean cornerback here. There's some good receivers still available. Maybe Terrace Marshall. Ooh, Terrace Marshall to fill that Alshon Jeffrey type role.
You can't pass on another LSU guy.
I actually don't hate that. I don't hate that. It's Terrace Marshall or, I don't think Kelvin Joseph fits. It's Aaron Robinson or Terrace Marshall. No, they took receiver. What am I talking about? We're gonna go cornerback. We're gonna go Aaron Robinson. He can play nickel right away. That's his experience at UCF. I also think he has the traits to play boundary. So Eagles get Aaron Robinson at 37. Bengals at 38. This, honestly, I know everyone's going to want Tevin Jenkins here to play right tackle. I don't think you have to do that if you're Cincinnati. Yes, it does have to be offensive line at this spot. I think the interior is a bigger need for Cincy on the offensive line. I think the Draft Network has OT just because they thought people would want to mock Sewell there. But I think the interior is a bigger need. And with Landon Dickerson and Creed Humphrey still on the board in this scenario, I think Landon Dickerson is a match made in heaven for Cincy, especially if you get a big guy that can play guard as well. If Landon Dickerson can stay healthy, this is a major, major pickup. Now, the issue is you've already taken a potential injury-prone offensive lineman in the past in Jonah Williams, another Alabama offensive lineman. So maybe you worry about the overall health. I just think Landon Dickerson is too good to pass up at that spot.
Yeah.
And then, what are you thinking?
I was going to say, I don't think he's been starting, but I know they just turned down Billy Price's fifth-year option, too. I don't think he's been starting, though.
He's not particularly good. The Panthers at 39. I think people are going to want Tevin Jenkins here. He doesn't really fit the left tackle need. They have Taylor Moton already playing right tackle, and on the franchise tag, yeah, you could go Tevin Jenkins to be his replacement. You went with J.C. Horn in round 1. I think if you're Carolina here and you're looking to get a tackle, I think you're looking for a more traditional left tackle. Sam Cosmi sticks out a lot, getting a big-time athletic offensive tackle. Could also go linebacker. There's some really good ones available that would fit Carolina.
What about guard?
They brought in Pat Elflein. I think Cam Irving can play guard if you get a tackle. I think I'm kind of in on a tackle here, and I think I want to go with the left tackle. I'm going to go Sam Cosmi. And then that would free up the Broncos, who went Patrick Surtain in round 1 to go offensive line. Tevin Jenkins in round 2 to play right tackle immediately. I feel like that's a really, really good fit. I think that's a really good fit for Denver. The Lions are a tough team to mock for because they really need everything. So who's the best player available right now? They took Penei Sewell in round 1. Could they take a shot on Christian Barmore? I don't think so. Elijah Moore is there at 41 in this scenario. That would be pretty good. You need receiver.
Who do they have?
They have... I don't know why Quintez Cephas comes to mind first because he's not good.
They have Brashad Perriman.
They have Brashad Perriman and they have Tyrell Williams. Yes.
And Quintez.
Both on one-year deals. Both on one-year deals, by the way. Yeah, I'm in on receiver here. I think this could be a linebacker as well,
Yeah,
especially
the
when that
thing
can
is-
cover like Baron Browning or Jabril Cox. Even Pete Warner, I feel like makes sense. Maybe it's a little bit early for them.
Yeah.
So let's go receiver. I don't know. I feel like Terrace Marshall's more of a fit. Elijah Moore is a better player.
There's just a weird team because it's like they're just full rebuild, so they could take almost anything.
That's
at this point.
the thing.
Like anyone could be picked here.
I'm gonna go Terrace Marshall. It's a toss up there. They have plenty of needs. Now the Giants at 42. This is an interesting one. I feel like it's pretty easy to go offensive line here with Creed Humphrey. Defense is still a need. You could go Azeez Ojulari. Could go Joseph Osai. I like that a lot. I think I just have to go Creed Humphrey here. You know, plug and play center. It feels like a really easy pick for the Giants to make it 42. It feels like a really easy pick, especially one spot ahead of the Niners. What do the Niners do? Took Trey Lance. They've got a really good team as well. Lost some corners. No more Sherman, obviously. I think Jason Verrett signed a one-year deal somewhere. Where did Jason Verrett go? Is he still? He's still in San Francisco. That doesn't mean they won't go corner, though. Edge. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with D Ford. But you have Bosa coming back. I think I'd probably like to go corner here. Historically, they've liked bigger corners. I don't really like any of these guys. I think Elijah Molden could easily come in and fill like the Jimmy Ward type role. Blanked on his name there for a second. They lost Solomon Thomas. They could take a shot on Christian Barmore here with a lot of help on the defensive line. I don't know. What do you think for the Niners? Okay.
Sorry. For the Niners,
Yeah, I'm probably leaning towards corner.
yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Oh, you know who's actually a really good fit is Ife Atu Melifonwu size-wise, but I don't know what their new defense is going to look like.
Has Barmore gone in your draft yet?
Yeah, I talked about him to replace Solomon Thomas. I'm going to go Ife Atu Melifonwu. They historically like size at the position. Size, athleticism, boundary corner. Ife Atu Melifonwu to me makes sense. Cowboys at 44 went with Micah Parsons. Really interesting. Now, they could go corner. I think Tyson Campbell is the best fit for them here if they're going cornerback. This could be Pat Freiermuth. I think they'd take a shot on Christian Barmore, honestly. Their interior defensive line's so poor. They don't really have a nose tackle, and they really need a nose tackle. Barmore isn't a nose tackle. I'd be the first to tell you that. But he is a big-time potential pass rusher up the middle for a team that really, really could use that. I think the Cowboys would be a team that takes a shot on Christian Barmore, playing high on his traits. Jags at 45. So who have the Jags gone with? They went ETN in round 1 and Trevor Lawrence. And we went Merrick at the top of round 2. Maybe Radun's here to play. I mean, who's the clear cut? I mean, all of these guys have played left tackle. Mayfield to right tackle. This is where we might take a shot on a left tackle. I don't really think they need receiver too much. Could go with maybe the best IDL available. I think Levi Onwuzurike kind of stands out. Levi Onwuzurike.
What do you think about like a Fryer move?
Could go tight end. We talked about that earlier. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Freiermuth. I don't hate it. We'll go with that. We'll go with Pat Freiermuth.
Seems like they're kind of building that offense.
Mm-hmm. To me, the Patriots are between corner and linebacker with this pick. Yeah, receiver would be cool. They went McCorkle Jones in round 1. Could give him a weapon. I mean, Elijah Moore there at 46 just doesn't make any sense. I can't pass that up. Just best player available. Immediate Julian Edelman replacement. That feels just way too good for the Patriots. Couldn't pass it up. Could not pass it up. Chargers. Got Rashawn Slater. That's tackle out of the way. Cornerback still a pretty big need for them. What corner do I like here? I don't love the corners for them. Schematically.
Yeah.
I mean, Tyson Campbell's more that man guy. Kelvin Joseph's more of that zone guy. Elijah Molden's your nickel hybrid safety. Adebo's a zone guy. St. Juste has the best size of anyone here. I mean, there is something for everybody. It's just, is it too early?
I think it's a bit of a reach to go after a corner, one of those corners here.
I think Joseph, without punching a coach, could have been a first-round guy. I think Tyson Campbell, athletically, is near a first-round player. I don't think they go offensive line. I don't think they need to if they have Rashawn Slater at left tackle. Could go edge.
Yeah, I'm feeling an edge. Like, is this an Ojulari spot?
Nah, he doesn't fit the defense, or at least doesn't fit the defense they had. I know new coaching there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the personnel they're going to run is. I assume they're going to stay 43.
I don't know. I don't like anything here.
We're not going to do trade downs just because that's too hard to stick.
Yeah.
You know what we could do is we could take a hybrid nickel corner safety, and that's Javon Holland. I love Javon Holland as a player. I think he's what the Chargers tried to do when they took Nasir Adderley, and Adderley has not been able to stay healthy. So I'm going to take Javon Holland there. That's a guy you could play at nickel corner. He's good in the box, but I think he's an over-the-top guy. And I think at the very least, he's a replacement for Rayshon Jenkins. Apparently, Staley runs at 34, so Chargers are going 3-4 in 2021. I still think Javon Holland makes a lot of sense because you could have like Uchenna Nwosu off the edge. Raiders at 48. This is something we should just scroll all the way down for. How about a Devontae Cross? They went Alex Leatherwood in round 1. This could be IDL. I think this is a safety spot. And I think Richie Grant is just a match made in heaven for them for back-to-back safeties. He's the type of player that the Raiders just don't have. And if you want to play him in the nickel, I think you can. I think Richie Grant can play over the top, probably not his best role. This is just your do-it-all type safety. I love Richie Grant. I think he matches up really, really well with bigger guys. So if you want like a tight end eraser, I think Richie Grant can do that. If you want a nickel corner, I think you can do that. If you want to bring up Richie Grant and play him in like a box type role, I think Richie Grant can do that. He fits the Raiders defense really, really well. So I just think that's a great pick for them. Cardinals at 49 went with Zaven Collins earlier. I think it's a good pick, even if a lot of other guys don't like it. Good look to go cornerback here. It's so weak. And Kelvin Joseph is just kind of sticking out. And I think in a lot of ways he reminds me of Byron Murphy with how instinctive he is as his own player. But he's a boundary guy. Byron Murphy can play a more natural nickel role. And Kelvin Joseph can play on the boundary. The cornerback depth for Arizona is so poor that I think this is a pretty good spot for him. And the Dolphins are up again. Won't hesitate. Javonte Williams. I mean, if you want like a potential Marshawn Lynch type player, yeah, I'm not saying he's going to be Marshawn Lynch, right? But they run the same way. Javonte Williams is a really good player, and he's still available at 50. I think it's something the Cardinals may have considered as well. Javonte Williams is an absolute stud. Washington football team at 51 went Jamin Davis earlier. We have to look to improve the offense, and we're going to go tackle here. Could go developmental quarterback. Kellen Mond sticks out. I don't think so. I think we're going to look to secure the offensive line. I'm a big Spencer Brown guy. I think if they're looking for a left tackle, we might just go Eichenberg. He probably is best available. Bears at 52. What did the Bears do in the first? They traded up for Justin Fields. That's right. Wow. That's the move of the draft for the first round. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Now, you could go with a receiver for the future. Maybe this makes Allen Robinson stick around, though. You never know. Maybe they get something done. They need right tackle. That could be Dylan Radunz. He seems like an NFL right tackle. Cornerback, since you lost Kyle Fuller, stands out as well. I think I want to prioritize protecting Justin Fields over a corner at this point. I am going to go Dylan Radunz. Starting right tackle. He's better than Bobby Massey, and that's kind of what we're looking for there. Titans at 53 went Caleb Farley. Tried to get a steal at 53, and I think they probably got one if he stays healthy. I am going to go receiver here. Rondale Moore in the slot is tempting. But Dyami Brown feels like a really good schematic fit as a deep threat that they can add to the offense. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go Dyami Brown to the Titans. Big time deep threat. I wish he'd play a little bit bigger. He's about 6'1". Doesn't quite play that big, but can really stack CBs, get over the top, and be that big-time playmaker over the top that the Titans really don't have right now. I love A.J. Brown as a player. I think Dyami Brown fits this team really well. Colts at 54. They went Kwity Paye. This has to be tackle. This has to be tackle. Has to be left tackle. They can afford to go with an older one. They just have to protect Carson Wentz. Brady Christensen's 25. I think he's one of the better tackles in the entire draft. Really unbelievable athlete. Plug-and-play left tackle. Steelers at 55.
I did not know he was 25. Holy shit.
Yeah, 24, 25.
I guess it makes sense at BYU.
I mean, it's tackle or center here to the Steelers. Who are the tackles worth taking at this point? They could take a developmental guy like Spencer Brown. Jalen Mayfield is a right tackle. I'm not sure they want to take him there. Stone Forsythe wouldn't be an awful pick.
Quinn Miners.
I don't mind Quinn Miners at this spot. I think he's going to go round 2 sometime. I had him in my video for like one good fit for every team. I'm sure Seattle's going to trade this down anyway. Trade back there. I think Quinn Miners is a good fit for the team.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we have Seattle at 56. Again, I'm sure they're going to trade down here. Oh, man. Keep Levi Onwuzurike in state. Could do that.
Yeah.
Could do that. Cornerback's a big need for them. Lost Shaquille Griffin. They need someone to play that cover 3 system. Ooh, Elijah Molden in state. He's not really a boundary guy. I'm going to go Paulson Adebo here. That's your zone corner. They just need a Shaquille Griffin replacement. And Paulson Adebo could run the cover 3 pretty well. So, kind of a weird pick in some ways, but I think it's a good schematic fit. I had Elijah Molden to the Rams in one player every team should take. I still think it's a really good fit because you potentially replace John Johnson and Troy Hill in one player. Their offensive line's really like old and bad though. They lost like Austin Blythe, I think was a huge loss. You have Andrew Whitworth who's like 40. But I'm gonna stick with my video, man. I think Elijah Molden's just a really, really good fit for the team. You got to keep that defense performing as good as it played. You have to. You have to. That's part of what made them so good last year. Chiefs at 58. How crazy would this be? Rondale Moore. I'm going to go Jabril Cox. I think it's just a great fit. You get a linebacker that can cover. I think he really fits the team as well. They're pretty weak at linebacker, and gotta love Jabril Cox. Maybe not a potential Mike, but I think he could do it. North Dakota State transfer to LSU, and he's one of the better zone linebackers in the class. At 59, we have the Browns. The Browns went with Greg Newsome in round 1. Man, Rondale Moore would be really interesting for that offense. But in my video about one player every team should take, I had the Browns and Baron Browning, and I'm going to stick to it. I think it's a really good fit for the defense. This is a really talented team, and Browning is an amazingly athletic linebacker and this is the right spot for a linebacker to Cleveland anyway. They really were not going to take one in round 1. I think Baron Browning at the back end of round 2 fits a lot, and then I am going to go Rondale Moore to the Saints. Major playmaker, kind of slipping down the board a little bit. Saints are just going best player available, and you already know that Sean Payton and company are going to find a way to utilize Rondale Moore. You've seen the way they used Taysom Hill. I can only imagine how they're going to use Rondale Moore. Bills at 61. Took Greg Rousseau, developmental edge, at 30. Don't laugh, okay? Don't laugh.
No, I laughed at someone I just read.
No. Benjamin St. Juste at 61, I think is a good fit. Has the size that the Bills like, but also, I mean, they went edge already. Could go IDL. Could go Levi Onwuzurike. He's fallen a little bit. Man, these D tackles are really falling for me. I want to go cornerback here. I want to go Benjamin St. Juste. I'm going to go Levi Onwuzurike. I think he's just too good of a player for the Bills to pass on. Green Bay went Stokes in round 1. Could see a receiver here. Actually, wait. We're going to go Nick Bolton. This is your Blake Martinez replacement. I know he hasn't been there, like he wasn't there last year, but a linebacker that can really come up and play near the line of scrimmage and tackle. Nick Bolton is sideline to sideline. He's way more athletic than Blake Martinez was, and he's not going to miss tackles either. Nick Bolton's a really good player, and at the back end of round 2, I think this is really good value. Chiefs, again, took Jabril Cox just a moment ago. Azeez Ojulari's falling due to injury concerns, by the way. What do we do here if we're Kansas City? I think we could go tackle. Left tackle is kind of taken care of. Right tackle, you had Lucas Niang, who's coming back after opting out. Do we just go wide receiver here?
Right tackle.
In my video, one player that every team should draft, did I have Nico Collins going to the Chiefs? I like the fit. I like the fit. It's a big-time, big-play, deep threat receiver. He fits the Chiefs' offense. He's an upgrade. I'm going Nico Collins. I love Mecole Hardman. I love Tyreek Hill. They have Travis Kelce over the middle. Nico Collins is a big-time, like, kind of typical X receiver, deep threat. Nico Collins works. Big-time weapon. And now the Bucs, to round out the first round, the Bucs went Joe Tryon at 32. And I'm thinking interior defensive line maybe. I think Milton Williams is the perfect kind of 5-tech player to eventually replace Ndamukong Suh. Crazy good athlete. There are some really good players still on the board, but this is a really deep class. Milton Williams is too good of an athlete. We're going to double dip here on defensive line for the Bucs in round 1 and round 2. I think Milton Williams is a really, really good player. Understands leverage really well, has really strong, powerful hands. The level of competition at Louisiana Tech was not great, but he's an all-world type athlete. So Milton Williams, to me, fits really well in Tampa. This is your eventual Ndamukong Suh guy. He's not pressured to play right away. He's not an edge guy, even though that's what he did at Louisiana Tech. For me, with Milton Williams, think like a more athletic Marlon Davidson. So Ojulari slips due to injury concerns. There are a lot of good players that are still available in round 3. Very interesting round 2. I'm sure I'm going to get 0 picks right, but that's the nature of not only the NFL draft, but especially round 2 and round 3. So appreciate you guys watching. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.
Bye.